You're wrong if you think prehistoric animals were just bigger versions of what we see today. Some of them were so strange that even now scientists still argue about what they actually were, as if nature was experimenting without instructions. Today, we're counting down 7 of the strangest extinct creatures ever discovered, and by the end of this video, you will completely change your vision of prehistoric life. 7. ARCHELON ISCHYROS. At number 7 is ARCHELON ISCHYROS, a sea turtle that looks familiar until you realize how wrong it is. Living around 80 million years ago, it stretched over 4.5 meters long and weighed more than 2 tons, making it the largest turtle ever discovered. What immediately confused scientists was its shell, and unlike modern turtles, ARCHELON didn't have a fully solid shell. Instead, it had a lighter, partially leathery structure reinforced by bone, more flexible, and less protective. Why would a giant turtle give up its best defense? The answer seems to be size and speed. With massive flippers built for powerful, open ocean swimming and a skull capable of crushing hard-shelled prey, ARCHELON didn't need to hide. It crossed ancient seas with momentum alone. Very few predators could even attempt to attack it. Even the largest marine hunters of its time would have had to decide if the effort was worth the risk. If armor wasn't necessary anymore, was ARCHELON already too big to fail? Humans would not survive an encounter, not because ARCHELON hunted people, but because sharing the water with something that massive means surrendering control. When an animal no longer needs defense, everything around it becomes secondary. 6. ANOMALOCARIS. Number 6 is ANOMALOCARIS, an animal so confusing that scientists originally thought its body belonged to 3 different species. Living over 500 million years ago, it had grabbing arms, a circular mouth lined with sharp plates, and a flat swimming body. For decades, paleontologists reconstructed it incorrectly, upside down and backward. Only later did they realize the mouth was actually a rotary feeding mechanism and the arms were used to seize prey. ANOMALOCARIS grew over 1 meter long, making it a giant predator in a world of small, soft-bodied animals. It hunted trilobites with speed and precision, likely crushing or shredding them alive. If this was one of Earth's first apex predators, did it invent the concept of fear itself? Humans would not survive because ANOMALOCARIS represents the first moment evolution learned how to kill efficiently. 5. LIOPLEURODON. At number 5 is LIOPLEURODON, a marine reptile made famous by exaggeration but still terrifying once the myths are stripped away. Living about 160 million years ago during the late Jurassic, it reached 6 to 7 meters in length, roughly the size of a bus, with a body built for power rather than speed. Early documentaries portrayed it as a monstrous giant, but the reality may be worse. LIOPLEURODON was compact, muscular, and extremely dense, giving it explosive acceleration in short bursts. Its skull housed massive jaw muscles, and biomechanical studies suggest its bite force ranked among the strongest of any marine reptile, capable of crushing bone and holding prey with terrifying certainty. Its teeth were not designed to slice flesh cleanly, but to grip and restrain, meaning once caught, prey had little chance of escape. Rather than long pursuits, evidence suggests LIOPLEURODON relied on ambush attacks, striking from below or from murky water where visibility was limited. Is a predator more dangerous when it doesn't need to chase only surprises? Humans would not survive because in open water, there is no cover, no footing, and no warning when an ambush predator of this strength decides to strike. 4. INOSTRANCEVIA. At number 4 is INOSTRANCEVIA, a predator that looks like evolution confused reptiles with saber-toothed cats and decided to combine both. Living around 250 million years ago during the late Permian, it was a Gorgonopsian, an early mammal-like reptile that walked with its limbs positioned more upright than most reptiles of its time. Its most unsettling feature was its pair of elongated saber-like canine teeth, some exceeding 12 centimeters, which immediately raised a problem for scientists. How did such fragile-looking teeth survive repeated attacks without snapping? Current research suggests INOSTRANCEVIA avoided bone entirely, delivering precise killing bites to the throat or soft tissue, targeting blood vessels and vital organs rather than brute force. This predator lived in an ecosystem already collapsing toward Earth's largest mass extinction, where prey was scarce and competition was ruthless. Efficiency mattered more than endurance, and specialization could mean survival or sudden disappearance. Was INOSTRANCEVIA a perfected predator, or an evolutionary dead end built too narrowly to survive change? Once INOSTRANCEVIA committed an attack, its speed, precision, and killing anatomy left no meaningful chance to escape. 3. BEELZEBUFO MPINGA. At number 3 is BEELZEBUFO MPINGA, often called the devil frog. Living about 70 million years ago in what is now Madagascar, this frog grew to the size of a bowling ball, with a body built more like a squat land predator than a modern amphibian. Its skull structure reveals a bite force comparable to modern wolves, driven by unusually thick jawbones and powerful closing muscles. This was not an insect eater. It could ambush and consume small dinosaurs, along with anything else unlucky enough to wander too close to its hiding spot. BEELZEBUFO waited motionless before striking with explosive force, relying on surprise rather than speed or pursuit. When a frog becomes an apex predator, what does prey even mean anymore? BEELZEBUFO did not flee or warn. It attacked instantly, and anything that fit inside its mouth was already too late. 2. JAEKELLOPTERUS. At number 2 is JAEKELLOPTERUS, the largest arthropod ever discovered. Living over 390 million years ago during the Devonian period, this sea scorpion reached lengths of up to 2.5 meters, making it longer than most modern humans are tall. It possessed massive grasping claws designed for seizing prey, compound eyes that detected movement with extreme sensitivity, and heavily armored body segments that provided protection without sacrificing mobility. Fossil trackways and limb structure suggest it could survive briefly on land, allowing it to ambush prey near riverbanks and tidal zones where escape routes were limited. What happens when the ocean's apex predator can follow you onto shore? Humans would not survive because JAEKELLOPTERUS combined speed, armor, and predatory reach, striking with crushing force in environments where early mammals or humans would have nowhere to run. 1. BRONTORNIS burmeisteri. Finally, at number 1 is BRONTORNIS burmeisteri, a massive prehistoric bird that continues to divide scientists even today. Standing nearly 3 meters tall and weighing over 400 kilograms, it towered over its environment in South America during the Miocene, moving with a presence more comparable to a predator than a passive grazer. For decades, BRONTORNIS was classified as herbivorous, but newer biomechanical studies of its skull and leg bones suggest something far more unsettling. Its thick, reinforced beak may have been capable of delivering powerful strikes, while its column-like legs imply explosive bursts of speed rather than slow defensive movement. Some researchers now believe BRONTORNIS may have been partially carnivorous, aggressively territorial, or even capable of killing smaller animals through sheer force alone. Is the most dangerous animal the one we still don't understand? Humans would not survive because an animal this large, fast, and unpredictable leaves no room for hesitation, no reliable escape, and no safe response once it decides you are a threat. These creatures were real. They lived, hunted, and dominated the same planet we now call home. Nature doesn't care what feels normal to us. It builds what works, even when it looks wrong. And the strangest part is this: we're only seeing fragments of a world that was far more dangerous than we ever imagined. If you watched to this point, make sure you click on the like button, turn on your notification for more videos,